Pounders, we are back doing what we do best. And today it's going to be some high stakes on Underdog fantasy football, best ball. We're going to be doing the $50 chow chow and hopefully taking it down. Some housekeeping real quick. We got to do the video for last week's chow chow. We have a giveaway. The video hit 62 likes. So we're going to be going through the comments and spinning the wheel. Here it is. So how many people are on this? Like 9. So whoever commented, you have a really good shot of winning. Wish everyone good luck. We're going to be doing the same thing for this video. If this video hits 50 likes, all you have to do is be a subscriber to the channel, like the video, drop a comment, and you'll be put in the wheel. Roger Goodell, clown, nose towel. Good luck. The spin. Oh! Cameron, congratulations. You hit us up on the Discord. Send us a DM on there. Honestly, thought that was going to stop at Fantasy Football Garage. He got slow rolled at the end there. Hate to see it. Congratulations to Cameron. Again, just hit us up on the Discord. Link is in the description. And we're going to get right into a rippy-tay here on the Chow Chow. If you guys don't already know, this is a 5,500 person tournament. And it's going to be 2 out of 12 advance for the first round. And of course, we're waiting on 9 people for the Chow Chow. So we'll see if this fills relatively quickly. If not, we could always divert to the BBM. But I would like to get one of these in tonight. Second round is going to be 8-person groups, and 2 are going to advance, so 25%. We'll advance on to round 3, which is week 16. Week 16, 2 advance out of the 8 again to a week 17 58-person group final, and that is going to be a minimum payout of 555, so 11x your entry, but you're battling for 50K to first, 25K to second, 15K to third, and obviously you have better chances of advancing in this tournament versus BBM, but higher entry fee, lower entrance. I like doing these tournaments to sort of balance out the variance, right? There's going to be a lot of variance. It's a common term for poker and just professional poker players that do tournaments, right? You need a lot to go right to make it all the way through. But if you're consistently making the right play, that's how you increase your chances of being successful. It's how you lower your variance will be how many drafts you do. Technically, if you are a skilled drafter, that's the science behind it. ER7, welcome to the live stream. Jason, what's going on? Fantasy Dysfunctional. What's going on? My dude, Nate L says, love the format for the Chow Chow. I agree 100%. How we doing? Paulie Chips in the live stream. Are you going to get the 102 or the 104? I've been getting punished lately, especially on BBM. I've been getting the 5 through 7 spot, which is, in my opinion, the worst draft position, especially for whatever reason. CMC has been making it to me at the 5 spot, and I would like either JJ, Chase, or Cup at 5. It's not happening. I don't even mind Tyreek Hill at 5 too, but just the values that fall to you in that second round at running back. You can get Barkley at 16, Chubb even at 19. He's starting to get a little expensive. But Pollard, Stevenson's going to be my favorite in this range. And then I think this range is kind of where the money's made or lost. And then again, with these wide receivers, I think this is where money's going to be either made or lost there as well. Waiting on 4 people for the chow. Hart says 5 through 7 sucks. I completely agree. But it's also how you go about drafting it, right? I don't love going Bijan. And the reason I don't like going CMC or Bijan really in this range is because when it comes back to you, you're basically hoping that Jalen Waddle's there, the wide receiver 2 on his team. It's just kind of odd. And I think Olave might be a little rich now. Like, I have Smith and Olave pretty close. Like if you're going to put Olavi up here, I think Smith should be ahead of this crew as well. So I'm curious how many people are jumping into this chow chow with us. Let me know in the comments if you guys are in this one or if you're watching. Dalvin going to the Jets or the Bills. ER7 has the secret sauce news. Speaking of secret sauce news, if you guys aren't already in the Discord, go to the link in the description, join the Discord. I just revamped the Patreon. We're going to be doing a Pounders Founders League. First 11 people to sign up for the Patreon. We already have 2 that signed up today. Going to have our own channel for that in the Discord, and then there's a lot of special perks. So go through that if that's something that interests you and you guys want to support the channel. We love you. We love you just for showing up too, though. So Nate says he's in the queue. I remember drafting with you the other day, Nate. You're a solid drafter, so this should be fun. We're waiting on 3 people. Hart says, how do you feel about the QBs falling? The JJ drafter getting hurts never feels good. Yeah, it's strong. It's a strong start. Now, these QBs, they started off very expensive, but now we're starting to see them fall to the 3rd round, early into the 3rd round. But I've gotten Jalen Hurts a couple times at 30 to go with CMC and Devonta Smith. Now, that's a start that I would enjoy all the time. But the problem is you can't guarantee yourself one of those elite receivers going CMC, especially to pair up with the QB, though. So if we can get that star every time, sure. But these QBs, the cost is high right now, but it's getting closer to last season. So we know the advantage it gives you being elite at QB, and it also gives you a playoff advantage. Like, would you want Jalen Hurts and Kenny Pickett, or would you want, Russell Wilson, Goff, and Jordan Love? You know what I mean? Going through the playoffs, you're just going to have such a higher spike potential at QB with Jalen Hurts. Yes, you're giving up one of these elite positional players, but I don't know. I still think there's a crazy advantage. So anytime they fall into this 24, 25, 26 range, we've been scooping them up at QB. It's just too good, and it changes the strategy. It gives you an extra player on the back end of the draft at wide receiver, running back. And yeah, is it ugly back there? Sure. But what's surprising to me is Malik Davis not being really drafted a lot right now. He is listed as number 2 in the depth chart for Dallas. There's some unknown with Tony Pollard with the injury. It looks like he's ahead of pace, which is good because I like Pollard this season, but an interesting number 2 that's not being drafted. And then you have Ronald Jones as the number 3 there. ER7 says he's just watching. Let's go. Appreciate you, man. I pulled off a Chase Hurts Devon to start the other day. What tournament was that in? I'm also in so we're waiting on 2 people here. Let's make our slow draft picks. We have a puppy that is like half finished. Here's a poodle that's half finished. I guess, oh yeah, right here. It's just over the halfway point. That's crazy, the amount of information that we're going to have over those last puppy drafters that did fast drafts. So we did crank into like 10 of these by the end. I think we only did like 50 or 60 of the first puppy, 65, I believe. Let's make our pick here. We're double picking. Really interesting. We got AJ Dillon for the Green Bay correlation. Looks like Reed might have already gone off the board. Wow, it's an early Curtis Samuel here. Running backs, Pollard, Charbonnet, Dillon, Jamal Williams, 16 picks after, which feels good. It's really only when I'm selecting him. Tight end, you have Taysom on the board. You have Knox. Running backs, I mean, it's a pretty good range for Singletary. I think this is a pretty easy click. I think this is a really easy click. Chase Brown. I hate how the news, like they have the little dot there. Like, oh yeah, there's a news flash for that player, but they don't actually have it. I know Tajay Spears is having a really good impact early into OTAs. So I think that's interesting. And you have Derrick Henry, who potential trade piece as well. So Tajay Spears, who would be battling behind Haskins there. So that's interesting. And he's a pass catching running back. So I have been trying to get some more Tajay in my portfolio. Another QB we could pair here with the Mingo pick would be Bryce Young. And we could do Chuba as well if we want to do something like that. Let me see. Did the Chow fill? We're waiting on one person for the Chow. One person. I'm probably going to sweat this one out before I make any decisions. This puppy is almost filled. They let Gus Edwards fall to us, which I think we would have Dobbins and Gus with Lamar. I think that kind of limits our upside, to be honest. I don't love that. Tillman's a really good pick for wide receiver, but I think we're done at receiver. This is one of the rare teams you'll see me select Odell too. He's under 2% for me. Still waiting for one here. This has to be a running back, though. This has to be a running back. We have 2 picks left. We're done at QB. We're probably done at receiver here. We have the double with Buffalo, which is interesting. And the Chow filled. All right, what I need everyone to do, smash the like button for the Influencer 101. I'll give everyone the countdown. We need that extra luck here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. Are we even in the draft room? I see the top 10 teams. We're in between ER7 and Brian. ER7, sneaky says, I'm not joining, I'm just watching. And then says, F it. I'm jumping in. Ouch. Yeah, we got the influencer 111. Really, really close. There must have been a mistake there. Must have been a mistake. We have the Pounders in the back end of this draft. Nate's at the 8 spot. Farachi's at 6. Dome Favors looks familiar. Body looks familiar, but not sure if he's a Pounder. If you're in this draft and I didn't mention your name, let me know in the comments. Dude, yeah, 100%. I hate slow drafts, Pauly. I hate them. I just think I'm a much better drafter on the go, just balancing my team quickly. In my head, on the go, I have just much better success. Also, I think slow drafts, not as many values fall because people have 8 to 11 hours to think about it. Like, oh, this guy has 15 picks after ADP. You don't really see that in slow drafts. You don't see them getting to 20 to 30. I got Jordan Love like 27 picks after ADP last night on a double stack. Like, yeah, see, this is exactly what's been happening to me at the 5 spot. Exactly what we said. And you have to go CMC. In my opinion, you have to go CMC. But we'll see what Body does. And again, I'm used to doing like drafting with either really, really good people or these high stake types drafts where they're going to piss yellow. You can tell this room is going to be wide receiver heavy, and we already have to adjust, in my opinion. We already have to adjust. Now, if Kelsey falls to me at 11, like I'm going to adjust right into a Kelsey team, but let's see what happens. We see Robinson go off the board at 8. See if Nate's gets one of these elite receivers. I think he might only be left with Waddle. ER7 goes, this is not going to be fun. Yeah, being on the back end of a yellow pissing draft isn't amazing. Probably looking at, let's see what Brian wants to do here. See what Brian wants to do. He's bringing it all the way down. Auto picks Eckler. Is Brian there? We see the LOL in the chat. He goes Adams. Okay. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Give me the double elite receiver in this room right now, $50 draft. I think it's safe to say that this room's going to piss yellow, and that might mean we get values on the way back around at different positions. Olave goes at 17, so you can see these receivers are being pulled up the board. And exactly what I thought, the Bijan team doesn't even get Waddle, which Olave, if you're high on him, that's fine. You can pull him here. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Barkley goes at 18. Smith at 19. Yeah, so the receivers are still being pulled. Nate says, I have Kelsey and 2 Chow Chows already. I couldn't. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. You don't need him in, a high percentage of your tournaments, especially it's a 15 tournament max. 2 out of 15 would be what, like 1 out of 7.5? Between Devontae and Amon-Ra. I don't think Devontae Adams really should fall that far. Like, yeah, sure, I have Amon-Ra ahead of Devontae Adams right now, but do I think a whole lot changes? There's a little more uncertainty, but there's still 3 months to go. Eckler, Devontae Adams. You can't be too mad with that start. I think it's a strong start. I would have liked Garrett Wilson and Eckler. JJ Mahomes and Mark Andrews. Interesting. Very interesting start. And in this tournament, I'm not as concerned with getting the bringbacks on the other side, week 17. Is it in the back of our head? Sure. But with the 58-person final, you don't really need to absolutely smash week 17 and have 4 players in that one game in order to come in first out of 450 teams like the other tournaments, especially on DK where it's like 1,100 or 1,200 in that final week 17. You need to be heavily correlated. With 58 people, it's really best available. It's played more like a cash game, in my opinion, where you're just making the right play. Sure, you want correlation. It helps. But I'm not as concerned with the bringbacks. I'm going to go with who has I like matchup-based week 17, who has great matchups, who's playing in domes, shit like that. At least 10 through 12, you can roll the dice, grab 2 top 5 RBs, and then just draft wide receivers for the next 10 rounds. It never feels good. It's tough, though, because then you're always balancing, okay, where do I go in on my QB? Because if you're going 2 elite RBs, you can't pick a QB in round 3, 4, 5 because they basically all have to be receivers. You see Josh Allen fall to 30 to Farachi. Pounders drafts. Pays to be in the Pounders drafts. Nice start, dude. Really, really nice start. But yeah, like I was saying, if you start 2 RBs, it just puts you in a situation where if a value falls to you at running back, you can't take it, and that can be annoying sometimes. Breece Hall off the board. All right, D-Hop's gone. Let's go ahead and grab Najee. Let's see what Brad wants to do. Dennis, welcome to the live stream. Jay says correlation sounds more like borrelation. It's the best. Judy at 37. Okay, so pulling him in front of Amari Cooper and Watson. I don't honestly mind getting Amari Cooper a few picks after ADP. Let's bring him in. Let's bring him in. I mean, small nugget. I know we just said we're not worried about week 17, but you have him after ADP and you have the Jets, Cleveland matchup. I just think Watson is, if Cooper's not there, I'm going Watson, most likely. In these chows, I've seen Gibbs fall to mid 40s to 47, 48. That's pretty typical for Gibbs. So we see ER7 bring him in here at 39, which is fine. And we're up at pick 59 and 62. So just real quick, scrolling down, sort of seeing what the range looks like, who we have on our team, what we want to do. And then we'll see if anyone falls too. Yes. If correlating your lineups is cool, consider me Miles Davis. If pee in your pants. Fantasy Football Garage. Dude, scroll back to the beginning of the video. We did the giveaway for the towel. It was close, man. We're talking millipixels. Just missed it. Just missed it. Keenan Allen at 43. Kirk at 44. Drake London goes at 45 to Dome Favors. I like this start right here. Cup, Jalen Hurts, Tony Pollard, and Terry. Must be nice to be on the front side of the board. What's it like over there? What's it like? I think this guy's got to smash 2 receivers here. And it's kind of gross because you have DJ Moore and Pittman, but what are you going to do? And then I think this team could take Justin Fields 10 picks, 9 picks after ADP. Doesn't have to be correlated right now. You can get a late round Komet, Mooney, whatever. I'm just surprised he didn't go DJ Moore here instead of Aaron Jones. You already had your anchor running back. If he goes DJ Moore here, you know this guy needs receivers first off. And then you get Justin Fields in this spot. So I think that was a pretty large mistake in my opinion. Like, how much better would this team look with Fields, Derrick Henry, Jamar Chase, Debo, and DJ Moore? Instead, you reach 7 picks on Aaron Jones. Just mediocre. So he does bring in 2 receivers. All right, still only 2 receivers here. Goes TJ Hawkinson. So elite at QB, elite at tight end. I'm going to be curious what this team looks like at the end. Because he really needs to get some values here at wide receiver. Marquise Brown really isn't making it back to 70 either. Look at that ADP fly up. Marquise Brown goes at 53. Called that one. Talk about speaking him into existence at pick 53. I was going to select him at 59 or at 62. And we're having some values fall to us right now. We'll see. Burrow's off the board at 55. Herbert goes off the board at 56. Herbert's just a great value in this range. Really good value. Burrow goes to a naked team, which is, it's not as big a deal. Like I mentioned earlier, you're going to play this one more like a cash game than you would a tournament, just due to the smaller entries. And you can still correlate him late. It's just a little more gross. Like I would probably bring in like Joe Mixon if I was that guy. We're gonna go Dobbins here. I like Dobbins. I like Miles Sanders too. I just think Baltimore really not bringing in any receivers, them talking about Lamar Jackson running less, which we'll see what happens once he's on the field. But another year removed from injury, should be the Dobbins show in Baltimore. Yeah, Burrow fell to what, 55? So it's just he needed to go receiver here. So really not in the best position, but Mike Evans off the board. We're going to go Tyler Lockett, I believe. When's our next pick? Our next pick's at 83 and 86. Yeah, let's go Lockett here. 4 receivers, 2 running backs through 6 rounds. And we have a lot of ways to correlate this team. That's what I'm most excited about. We have Seattle as an open door. We have Cleveland as an open door. Pittsburgh, Detroit, the Jets. A lot of options. A lot of options. A lot of options at QB. See Sanders go to ER7. Little Jahmyr Gibbs, Sanders. And then 4 receivers. So very similar start to us. Actually, the exact same, 4 and 2. This team just hates receivers. So we actually kind of lucked out having this guy in front of us. And we double luck out because now he's taking running backs, and ER7 and I both have our running backs. He also let the value at wide receiver fall to us. So you have to love that. You have to love that. He's doing the Lord's work right now. He's doing the Lord's work. You see a little sea of green, 3 in a row. This team also has 1 receiver, brings in Jordan Addison. Needed someone here. Faraci doesn't have any running backs. Let's see who's on the board. Ooh, it dries up quick. We have this guy just scooping all the running backs. I'm telling you, that's going to help us. It's funny. It's funny how that works. Just says, screw it. I'm going Deontay Johnson. Give me my guy. Give me my guy, he says. Just 7 picks. 7-pick reach. Nothing crazy. See Christian Kirk go to Trevor Lawrence go to the Christian Kirk team. Pitts here at 69. Nice little balanced start from Dome Favors. Very balanced. Also has the Atlanta correlation. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Atlanta is playing Chicago. So I don't think he doesn't have anyone as a bring back yet. Alexander Madison at 70. Wow. Full round reach. Full round reach. Let's get some search on Dalvin Cook news first. Five hours ago, Dalvin Cook not expected to be released. Not good for Madison. Not good for Madison. There is a little post that I shared in our Discord down below in the description. Little nugget that Minnesota freed up some cap space. So they really don't need to release Dalvin Cook. Also, just from a standpoint of, I've been taking this stance for months now. Did the Vikings get better by releasing Dalvin Cook? Like, you have Kirk Cousins, who's at the end of his career. They're still in the playoffs every year. Does it make sense from a team standpoint? I just don't. I don't see it. I never saw it, and that's why I have Madison at 1%, and that's when he was going in the early hundreds. So I don't know. Like, give me Cook here at 72. If you want someone like Madison, where is he? Elijah Mitchell, 126. Except he actually has a change of pace role on his team, and he has that same upside as Madison does if their number one goes down. I get it. Madison's ADP is there for, it's just speculation, and he was a potential riser, but he just got to a point where even if Cook doesn't return, are you putting him, where are you putting him? You put him ahead of Dalvin Cook when Dalvin Cook goes to another team? Probably not. It would depend where he goes, but probably not. Kenneth Walker, put him ahead of J.K. Dobbins. So I don't see him being of value, even if you're right on the bet, which kind of defeats the whole purpose. Just one man's take, though. Just one man's take. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Oh, Watson gets sniped by the 4 running back, 1 receiver team. Just cause pain. Just cause pain, man. Brandon Cook's gone, so we can't do the Dak correlation if we had the Lamb start. So we know what ER7's doing. He's going Dak on the way back around, which doesn't matter to us. Let's go Waller here. It opens us up to another QB with Daniel Jones. Dude, I think I just go Bateman here just for the tier drop off. And we have a little correlation with Baltimore. Again, we can bring in Geno. We can bring in Daniel Jones. We get sniped on Deshaun Watson for no reason at all. You can bring in Goff. You can bring in old man Rodgers, probably on a darkness retreat. All right, let's go Bateman here. I feel strong at receiver now. We can go a couple late guys, probably end up on 7 receivers. We got to bring in some running backs on the way back around. Hopefully our first QB, maybe double tap QB. We'll see who's there. But that's what I'm looking at right now. Pissing green is the new yellow. Oh, man. What is it? St. Patty's Day? Get out of here. Get out of here. I've been higher on Madison the last 2 weeks. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see if Dalvin returns. It's gonna be pretty bad. Yes. Here we go. This is the person I'm willing to take the shot on. McBride. Round 18. Mega riser if Cook were to move on. Who's the biggest benefactor? It's not actually Madison. It'd actually be McBride. He'd be the mega riser. But I don't know. It's a gut feeling. It's a gut feeling that Cook does not move on. I've always had that stance, and I've been drafting as if it were true. Been drafting a lot of Cleveland Jets stacks lately. I like that. Paulie says, well, now I'm screwed. Nah, it's far off. It's far off. We'll see. There's plenty of time. And anything can happen. See Richardson go at 93. He's been a faller, and I think this is correct. He should fall a little bit. When you think of Dak, when you think of Tua, you think of Richardson. Tua and Dak are going to have less risk. Sure, they're not rushing quarterbacks, but they have a similar ceiling. When you think about their single game ceiling, you give Richardson 2 touchdowns. You give him 200 yards passing. What's that? 8 points. 2 touchdowns is 8 points. That's 16. And you give him 2 rushing touchdowns and 40 yards. What we got? 20, 32 points. Let's give him 50 rushing yards. 33 points. Let's give him 60 rushing yards. 34 points. Now you got to give him an interception, though. I'm sorry. You got to give him an interception. So 33 points. Go back and see if Tua hit 33 points last year. Hit the massive games. Absolutely massive. And I like this pairing. I like this pairing a lot. Richardson and Tua. It's nice. It's nice. Saw Hayden Winks the other day talk about Juju in this range and how he believes he's the best receiver available. I mean, he's basically the only receiver available. So, but I definitely agree. We saw JMO actually go at 94, 6 picks before ADP. Team's definitely going for upside. That's for sure. Team's definitely going for upside. AJ Dillon at 102. Oh, I didn't see this. ER7 didn't bring in Dak. So after going Cooks and Lamb, he goes with the value play of Isaiah Pacheco. Okay. Evan Ingram's still on the board. Now we're talking about 11 picks of value there. He gone. He gone. Wow. All right. ER7 says trying something new. Trying something new in the $50 drafts. It gets scary. Jones off the board. This guy just hates me. This guy who hired you? 4 running backs. Remember how I said he was helping us at the beginning? Now he's crushing our soul. Now he's just crushing our soul. I don't like you guys right now at all. I don't like you guys at all. All right. Brian shouldn't go Geno because there's no stack there. But I don't think we can trust anyone right now. I think we just have to bring in Geno. We can't trust anybody. ER7 snipes Rodgers because he's trying to get the Lazard stack. I think it's super thin. I'd rather Kirk Cousins naked and then go Osborne later. Probably going Penny here. Where's the... It sucks. I'm just going to reach up and get him. We're going Goff. We're going Goff with the Monra pick. We could also bring in Sam Laporta later. We have to get our stacks here. We have to get our stacks for this team to make sense. Would have liked Rodgers, but honestly, when you think Rodgers, Goff, they're both going to have pretty damn good offenses. Pirine goes. So we'll have to catch up at running back, and that's basically it. Like, I'm super well balanced. Like, I feel good about this squad right now. Would I have liked players at ADP like Jones and Smith or Jones? I'm not super high on Rodgers. I would have taken him here just to do like a little exposure smooth out. We also have Garrett Wilson. We could have went Rodgers and Lazard for a little double, but probably would have ended up going Rodgers and Jones or Jones and Smith. So I'm not too mad about it. Yes, that was a slow roll. Dude, that thing just didn't stop. The pin just wouldn't stop. Too funny. Too funny. You have to be able to laugh. You have to be able to laugh. We are giving away another towel if this video can hit 50 likes, so make sure you go down and drop the like. Mingo, we see go at 118. Kirk makes it back to 120 to the JJ team. Still has 4 receivers. He actually goes his second tight end. Probably too early, in my opinion, after reaching on Andrews and only having 4 receivers. I was liking this draft a lot until that pick, to be honest. I don't think that's a great pick. Mooney goes, pairs him up with Justin Fields. There's a little bit of injury concern still from last season. Not back to full health just yet. And these receivers start to dry up quick. People are going to start reaching as well. Can already feel it coming. Dome favors still with just 4 receivers. Zay Jones off the board, so the Trevor Lawrence team makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Faraci doesn't have a tight end yet. Expect these two to dry up quick as well. Brings in Damian Harris to go with Josh Allen. Okay. Little triple stack in Buffalo. You're not expecting Damian Harris to catch more than 1 receiving touchdown, if that even happens. But maybe he goes off 1 week and you advance a low-scoring Stephon Diggs. I think that's possible. This team needs receivers. Please. Thank you. This would be a huge mistake if ER7 goes Gallup because he doesn't have Dak. Now I'm betting he wishes he went Dak. Let's see who we get on the way back. We're going to go Conk, and we're going to be done at tight end here with these two. Do we push it another round with our running back? Let's see. 155 and 158. We have to go running back. We have to go running back here. It just gets so thin. I like Gallup still at this spot, but we're good at receiver. We really need to pull in a running back here. Really need to pull in a running back. And I'm cool with Jerick McKinnon and his red zone role. You're not expecting him to pop off for, 80 yards, but he still has that 2 touchdown potential. Oh, dude. 2 months. 2 months yesterday. We're doing the circles around the eyes are just, it's becoming a normal thing. It's becoming a normal thing. I'm starting to see double in the draft room. ER7 says, I regret a lot of things. That would have felt you really nice. You would have had Dak with the triple on Dallas. It's all right. Yeah, we needed a running back there. We really did. Alec Pierce goes at 141. Rashawn Johnson at 140. Dude, okay. I was going to say, where's this team's running backs? They started RBRB. They went Ridley, Christian Kirk, Marquise Brown, Thomas, Juju, Myers, Zay Jones, Trevor Lawrence, and Goddard. Interesting team. Again, They don't have to be super, super correlated in order to advance and in order to win week 17, where there's only 57 other teams you're playing against. DJ Chark and Jalen Warren. I don't know, man. I'm not on the Chark train. I'm not on the DJ Chark train. DPJ off the board. I like this pairing of QBs, Justin Fields and Dak. I think that's good. This team has Jalen Hurts and brings in Kyler, which is nice for end of season upside. And you can afford to miss a few weeks, right? With Jalen Hurts, you can miss 4-6 weeks, and it's not really a big deal. Cole Kmet 148. That's a sweet. Yeah, Dome Favors is just crushing it in the 4 spot, in my opinion. Kmet and Pitts, 2 middle round QBs. I like the running backs. I think they spent a good amount of draft capital at running back. They bring in Alec Pierce, who's one of my guys in this range, to pair with these 4. It's a well-balanced team. Yeah, Nate says Farachi's team's looking great too. And Farachi's in the 6 spot with Diggs, Devonta Smith, and Josh Allen. Dream start. Keenan Allen, JSN, Deontay Johnson, Gabe Davis. Brings in Montgomery, Dillon, Penny, Harris, Jamal Williams. I love this range of running backs. Jamal Williams way after ADP. It's basically where I'm taking him. Brings in Dolchich, who just continues to fall in the offseason. I didn't really understand when he was going at like 120 on the first big board. But at 150, like I'm cool with that. These tight ends are great in this range. Well, Higbee at least. I'm not huge on Irv Smith. Got the underdog barking upstairs. This guy's been a wild card. Goes Higbee. Same bye week as Kelsey, which is fine, but I mean, it's kind of, you're taking a 0 week 10. You don't want to have to draft 3. ER7 brings in Singletary, which is fine. We're not going to force a running back here. We're probably just going to grab Van Jeffy here. Could we be done at receiver? I feel like we could be done at receiver if we needed to be. I feel like we could be done at tight end if we needed to be. I'm not going Sam Laporta here. I think we bring in Staffy. And now we have a 3 correlated QB team. And then we just stuff a bunch of running backs. That's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like. Super interesting. Super interesting. Dome. I always say Dome. Dome favors. Just way more funny. Tyreek Hill, T. Higgins. Yeah, Stevenson. I like this team a lot. I like this team. I like Farachi's team. We didn't get any value to fall to us at running back. I think that was the problem. If we were going to take a running back, it would have been this Goff pick. But then Goff goes at 124. So is he really going to fall back to 131? I don't think so. I don't think so. You have Jameson Williams here at pick 94 to the Jalen Hurts team. I would think that he would have gone Goff right here at 123. So that is the reason why we reached on Goff here. And then we just didn't really get any values to follow to us at RB. Like we could have gone Pacheco here instead of Bateman, but I don't mind that at all. I don't mind going Bateman there. So we'll just kind of figure it out at running back, which that's the position you really want to figure it out at. It's where the most upside lies is at the end of these drafts at RB. Wide receivers fall off pretty hard. RBs, you just need one injury, baby. You just need one injury. Downs goes at 163. 1471 build for Bodie. Bodie. Got his goat horns. Battle Royale winner. Is this an auto pick? Goes Hunter Renfrow. Tanks ADP 154, so just 5 picks early. Algier goes at 165. Still only rocking 5 receivers through 14 rounds. And that's why. Because it's dry. It's dry. And the funny thing is, like, people are going to still reach up because teams that need receivers, like, what are you going to do? Just pick a position you don't need just because they're scooped off the board? People are going to keep reaching, keep getting their guys. Trey Lance goes at 169 to pair with Kirk Cousins and Mahomes. After you get Kirk Cousins at a value to go with Mahomes, the draft capital's fine. You don't need a third QB. I think that's a mistake. And that's being nice. I know it's a mistake. Foreman goes at 170. Common faller. I'm not drafting Foreman. It's just too muddy in Chicago. It's too muddy. Gainwell. 16 picks before. No thanks. Chuba at 173. I'm fine with that. You also have 2 rookie running backs. You need someone that has a certain role. As long as they don't bring in Blackshear again. That was kind of gross when they were running with 3 running backs at the end of the season. But to go with CMC and Chubb, I think that's a good RB to bring in. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't understand the Hunter Renfrow pick. I don't see how Hunter Renfrow spikes into this lineup. See what Mike Tech does. Go Sam Laporte at 175. Round and a half value. 15 picks. Nate's in the live stream. Goes Juwan Johnson at 176. Love that. Love that for this room. Beautiful. And it's paired with Derek Carr. Mechie off the board. I think that was this team's first good pick. Stroud. All right, so we get to bring in Tajay Spears. Sweet. It's like the perfect type player for this team. We have 3 picks left. Go Zeke. Let's bring in Jerome Ford. Again, we have to shoot for upside at the end of this. At the end of this draft, I mean, the running backs are really picked off at this point. You're just looking for those number 2s that can spike into the lineup. Looking for basically getting lucky with injuries at this point. So we're going to bring in 2 more running backs, 1 receiver, or 2 more running backs, 1 receiver. So it's going to be a 3-7-7-2 build. Garrett Wilson, Amon-Ra, Cooper, Lockett, Bateman. Yeah, it needs 1 more receiver. Gus Edwards. Yeah, I don't think Gus Edwards would have made a lot of sense for our team. Having J.K. Dobbins. Sure, can one go off 1 week, one the next? Perhaps, but I think it kind of limits our upside for week 17. If you have both Dobbins and Gus Edwards, it's sort of like having one player not on your roster. They're not really both going to go off in the same week. That's sort of why I didn't like the Josh Allen, Damian Harris pick, but I think they needed Harris to advance. He needed to just smash running backs in this range, so it still makes sense. It's fine. It might just cap yourself a little bit with upside week 17. Harris, Dobbins, yeah, we need a little bit of help here at running back. We have some secret players that we're holding off on. They're going to come out of nowhere. You just got to scroll down, close your eyes. Le'Veon Bell, he's going to come back to be a top 10 running back. He's going to sign with Pittsburgh. All right, we're done. We're done there. Fun story about Le'Veon Bell. Had 2 strippies at his house, woke up and his watches were gone, and he reported it to the police. You can look that story up on the internet. Solid. Can't say I'd report it. Claypool goes at 192. You can see Palmer go at 191. Ty Chandler at 190. Dwayne McBride over Ty Chandler. Trey McBride, sneaky winner from the D-Hop release. Yikes. Okay, has Pat Freiermuth and Trey McBride, fully expecting this to be another tight end. Fully expecting that to be another tight end at 215. Gesicki at 195. Desmond Ridder at 196. Hopefully this is the London. Yeah, it is. Okay. Very nice. London Cal Pitts team brings in Desmond Ridder. Do they have to draft a third QB? I don't think so. We'll take a look at their team at the end. I think it's fine, though. This last pick's probably going to be a running back from them, and I think that's a well-balanced team. Cole Kmet and Pitts can stop it too if you want. It's so hard to draft Lenny. It's so hard to draft Kareem Hunt. I think the toughest part about it is like Lenny's best landing spot is where Hunt is leaving from. And would they be prepared to sign? Like, I think this team that we have right now needs a Lenny to sign on somewhere and just catch 50 balls. It's just so difficult to click these players. Could be potential risers. Could be zeros. Risk it for the biscuit. 8 picks after 17th round. Oh, shit. What was I saying? 3772. I only have one more pick left. All right. Najee, Dobbins, Jerick McKinnon, Tajay Spears, Jerome Ford, and Lenny. Lenny, obviously, this pick is him signing somewhere. Cleveland, I think, has a need. If Nick Chubb goes down, like that's the only reason you're picking Jerome Ford. Tajay Spears, Jerick McKinnon, Dobbins, Najee. Najee's going to be a volume beast. Who can make an impact on this team? We would have Marvin Jones for some correlation, but I think that's... I feel like that's kind of thin. $3.76. I can't. We got to go 3.67 here. Let's go Marvin Jones for the correlation. J-Mo's going to return week 7. And maybe, I mean, we're expecting his production to drop down at that point. But I think it's fine. Weird draft from the 11th spot. Got sniped a ton at QB, but I think we ended up making it work. We have enough carries here. Like Najee's going to be a volume beast. We're expecting Dobbins to be a volume beast. If he gets injured, this team loses anyways, so it doesn't matter. I like Dobbins for his price point. And then you just have McKinnon, who has that red zone role. Hopefully that continues this season. Captain last year in KC. Tajay Spears, some positive news in OTAs about catching passes, making flashes. Yeah, I'm trying to rhyme here. Jerome Ford, a little bit of buzz. I mean, only RB behind Chubb. I'm trying to talk up these RBs. It's tough. It's tough. I need a couple likes on the video there. Help me cope with this draft right now. Don't love it. Don't love it, but 11 spot, you kind of have to take what's given to you. And we didn't get that elite QB to fall to us. If we go Lamar here over Najee, I'll have to take a look at this draft and see what we could have done better. This Bateman pick, if that's Isaiah Pacheco, I think we end up with a better team overall. But is there a chance that one of those veterans ends up in KC for short money? We'll see. We did have to stop at 2 tight ends. Like, that was the right move. Sam Howell at 210 seems like a crazy value right now at QB. Would I pair him with Jordan Love and Burrow? Probably not. I like the 4 RBs here. I don't love ETN, but he falls 5 picks. I think he has to. I think ETN has to fall a little further than this, though. I like the Connor pick. Definitely like the 2 Chow Chow drafts from the other night better than this one. But guess what? It's going to happen. You're not going to love every draft, especially in tougher rooms. All you can hope for is well-correlated teams that end up advancing. Like, I like this team's chances if a few things break right. Sometimes, most times, things have to break right for you to end up with the team in the finals. We ended up with 5 teams in the finals last year, and we only did 157 tournaments. We were mostly cash game last year, 400 cash games, 40% ROI, 44. Who's counting? Let's take a quick peek at that one. Chow Chow. How did this team end it off with? They ended up with just Trey McBride and Pat Freiermuth. I think that's a little thin. I really want to see that be a tight end. So there is some hope in this room. I don't think it's really a 12-person draft. I think there's a few dead teams here. I think this was a dead pick. You get Kirk Cousins, 17 picks after ADP. You roll with 2 QBs. Would have liked the second tight end to not have the same bye week and to be later in the draft after picking Mark Andrews at 25 before ADP. RBs I'm cool with. And wide receivers I'm fine with as well. Pittman's fine as a wide receiver 3 on a team. I think it's a little more gross if he's your 4th wide receiver on your team just because of sort of like a low spike potential. Fields, Prescott, and Jimmy G. This pick should have been a tight end, in my opinion. Wide receivers, that's fine for the draft capital spent to go that many. And running backs, I like the running back group. It's fine. Reed, I think this pick makes a lot of sense with Jalen Hurts because you don't necessarily need Murray for the first 4, even 6 weeks. If it had to be like that, you're just kind of shooting for upside for the end of the season. Does he have? Okay, I was wondering if he had anyone in Arizona to go with it. He doesn't. Hawkinson and Gesicki, I'm fine with it. I'm not high on Gesicki, but some people are, so it's cool. Pollard, Madison, Alvin Kamara. This is like the upside running back group. I don't like Gainwell. I don't think he has any upside at all. Madison, with the news about Cook staying now, I think Madison has to fall, not rise. And then the receivers are fine for the draft capital spent. I think it makes sense going this many receivers when you bring in JMO too. That's something to think about. Do me favors, or like I like to say, dome favors. Richardson, Tua, and Desmond Ridder. I think this is going to be one of my favorite teams in the draft, picking from the 4 spot. Stevenson, Swift, Gibson, Elijah Mitchell, and Tyler Algier. 12 picks after ADP. It's sort of the range I think he should be going. Like That's the range that I'm like, all right, give me Algier here. Like this is fine. Hill, Higgins, London, Godwin, Alec Pierce, Curtis Samuel. So goes 4 early receivers, and then this is exactly what you want to do. You want to pick these best ball type guys that are going to spike. You don't want to pick like 300 Renfros, right? So Alec Pierce, deep shot guy, Curtis Samuel, kind of gadgety, but red zone roll, Khalil Shakur, and Corey Davis. We'll see if he stays on the team. Kyle Pitts and Cole Kmet. I think those two are fine. You're pretty much betting on Pitts to be a top 5 tight end. Trevor Lawrence and Mac Jones. I think it's fine. Goddard and Henry. So a little correlation there at the end of the draft to go with Juju as well. CMC, Nick Chubb, Rashawn Johnson, Tank Bigsby, and Chuba Hubbard. I like it. You start with 2 RBs. You kind of have to stop at 5. Bring in 2 rookies. Typically start slow, but it should be fine. This bye week 5 would sort of scare me for having these 3 running backs behind, but it's fine. Calvin Ridley, Kirk, Marquise Brown, Michael Thomas, Juju, Jacoby Myers, Zay Jones, Hunter Renfrow. So like the Hunter Renfrow pick's really the only pick I don't like here. Probably should only have 8 receivers. Like if this is a running back, I like this team a lot better. But still a fine draft. Pretty well balanced. Faraci 2682 with Allen and Pickett. Dolchich and Knox, maybe a little light at tight end here. Montgomery, Dillon, Penny, Damian Harris, Jamal Williams, and Dwayne McBride. I'm fine with that. Definitely fine with that group. He smashes that range of running backs that I think you really want to. Like, I try to get 2 of those guys in that range every draft. I just like being in the position. I try to position myself so I'm drafting running backs in that range. I think that's really smart. And A.J. Dillon at 102. I miss when he was at 120, but we're still scooping a ton of A.J. Dillon. Diggs, Smith, Allen, JSN, Deontay Johnson, Gabe Davis, Josh Downs, and Tim Patrick. If there's one pick that I don't love, it's probably the Deontay Johnson pick as the 5th receiver on the team. Just has super low spike potential, in my opinion. More of a cash game player, but if he's your 4th wide receiver on a team, I don't mind it. 5th, again, how many times is he going to spike into this lineup? He's more of a floor guy, in my opinion. Joe Burrow, Love, Howell, probably could have stopped with these 2, getting them both at a value too. Njoku, Sam Laporta, and Taysom Hill. I like this 3. Barkley, Jake, like this 4 is fine. It's definitely doable. And then receivers are sort of weak here. A.J. Brown, Jordan Addison gets Jahan Dotson. I think there's a tier drop off after Dotson. So I think that was important that he at least got him there. Brings in Odell, Rashee Rice, Michael Gallup, Jaden Reed, and Robert Woods. I like how he ended the draft. Has some upside players at least. Nate's in the 8 spot in the live stream. Justin Herbert and Derek Carr. Bijan, Damian Pierce, Samaje Perine, Khalil Herbert, and Gus Edwards on 185. Just hero running back build. Brings in Pierce, which Houston, they have a sneaky good O-line this season. So I don't mind the Damian Pierce pick. I'm not super overweight on Pierce, but I'll have my 8%. I think Singletary's going to hurt Pierce more than people think. Just a gut feeling. Ingram, Irv Smith, and Juwan Johnson, all at a value. Just wrap it up in a bow and send it out for delivery. That's sick. Chris Olave, DK Metcalf, Mike Williams, Quentin Johnston, Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims, Nathaniel Dell, and Greg Dortch. For the people. You got your double stack with the Chargers, and you have your double stack in New Orleans. Nice draft. This team put us through a world of pain, sniping Deshaun Watson out of midair, sniping Daniel Jones out of midair. I'm fine stopping at 4 RBs here. I think that's fine. Kelsey and Higbee. It'll probably end up being unique because people won't do this. with the same bye week. So it's cool. I don't really care too much about that. Should still have a huge advantage at tight end. Watson, Elijah Moore, Tyler Boyd, Adam Thielen, Jalen Hyatt, Rondell Moore, John Mechie, Hodgins, Cedric Tillman. Okay. So I actually like a few of these late round picks, like Mechie, Moore at 160. He's getting a little more rich, but he still has room to climb. Hyatt, I think, makes sense for this type build. I think actually Thielen makes sense too with his touchdown potential, 2 touchdown game potential. We'll see how many more he has of those in his career, but I think it at least fits for this team where you're going, 10 receivers? Cedric Tillman, Michael Wilson, a little more of a sleeper. ER7 in the 10 spot. Dude, come on. Dude's rolling sevens. The dude is rolling sevens. What's going on, Steph? Yeah, this was a chow. We're not thrilled about how our draft turned out, but we're not super surprised being at the 11 in between 2 people with the draft guide. Aaron Rodgers, CJ Stroud, and Bryce Young. Rolling sevens. That's hilarious. Let's go with tight ends. Schultz and Conklin might be a little thin there. Might be a little thin at tight end. Gibbs, Sanders, Pacheco at a nice little value. Sanders at a nice little value. Reaches up, gets Singletary. Kind of snipes us on Singletary there, but yeah, that was Max Payne for us. Chase Brown and Israel Anaconda. I like how you ended. A little reach there. 15 picks for Chase. Lamb, Waddle, D-Hop, Ayuk, Brandon Cooks, Lazard, and Nico Collins. I like the receivers. I really think you're regretting this pick right here of Isaiah Pacheco. When you had Cooks, you had CeeDee Lamb. All you had to do was press Dak for the Dak stack. And then this pick right here, 135, could have been Gallup, but everything, hindsight's 2020, right? So still a fine draft. You made it work. You got your Houston correlation with Nico and with Schultz and with Singletary. So I think that makes a lot of sense. Is that a super naked Bryce Young though? Little naked Bryce Young. And Aaron Rodgers, you ended up bringing in Alan Lazard and Conklin. So I think that's pretty nice. And Brian at the 12 spot, 2682. Lamar and Russ, I'm cool with that pairing. Kittle and Everett, I'm fine with that pairing. You also get them both at a little value. Eckler at 12. White, Brian Robinson, Devon A-Chain, Kendra Miller, and Zeke. I'm actually cool with this group. You're kind of hoping that Zeke just finds a home somewhere. I don't think it needed to be a running back, but where you have 2 rookies, Kendra Miller still kind of nursing that knee injury as well. I think you could have got away with 5, but let's see if you would have spent it anywhere else, because I'm fine with the running backs. I'm fine with the tight ends. Adams, Judy, Mike Evans, Zay Flowers, MVS, Rashid Shaheed, Cole Hardman. Yeah, I like the team. I think it's a pretty well balanced draft from Brian here. Really improving. And our triple correlated 3 late QB had to reach on Goff because this dude was doing crazy stuff before us with the naked Watson pick, which is fine. Naked Watson's not that crazy, but it would have been nice if he got Njoku here at 105. So we had Geno, Goff, and Staffy. What's funny about Geno is you think about where all 3 of his receivers are going. You even think about where his top 2 running backs are going. Is this going to be a top 3 offense? Someone's ADP has to be wrong. Is it Metcalf? Is it JSN? Is it Lockett? Whose ADP is wrong? I'm kind of on the side of give me the guy that goes the latest, which is Lockett right now. But I sort of understand why DK is still in this 30 range, because you have to put someone there. You have to put a receiver there. You have to put someone there. Value-wise, I think he should maybe fall just a little bit. But, Geno was going to be MVP this season with his 3 receivers going that early. That's kind of what the story tells. And that's what this team needs. Jared Goff and Staffy. Got Harris, Dobbins, Jerick McKinnon, Tajay Spears, Jerome Ford, and Lenny. Gross running back room. Darren Waller and Chiggy at tight end. Garrett Wilson, Amon-Ra, Cooper, Lockett, Bateman. I'm cool with the receivers. I think if this Chiggy pick is a running back at 131, it could have been cool. No, these guys were gone. So it would have had to been Kendry Miller, Jamal Williams. So I'm not too mad at the Chiggy pick here. It lets us stop at 2 tight ends, and sure, it could have gone Kendry Miller, but then does Jerick McKinnon get taken? We're not even guaranteed 2 of those running backs. So I really don't think it's that big of a mistake. If one of these guys fell to us, I think we would have had to gone running back. But sometimes at the back end of the draft, you just have to accept what is given to you. Stephanie says Geno ADP is wrong. I agree. I mean, all signs kind of point that way. Brian H says one more draft. We hit 17 likes, hoping to pop off at 25. But I got to go play some hockey tonight. Some hockey, not pond hockey. All right. Summertime. But I'm gonna take off. Appreciate everyone coming out, and we'll be doing another one of these soon. I'm gonna do one more chow before the tournament fills. So I hope to see everyone there. Thanks for coming out again. Ben with the wrench. We'll catch you guys later. Pounders.